Hello, it is KNDBJ News. I am Kylie Freitas, and today we will be looking at the terrible conditions of slum life and pollution issues in the environment. The Industrial Revolution has made a monumental impact on today's society. It began less than 100 years ago with British textile manufacturers. The key inventors such as James Watt, George Stephenson, and John Kay propelled the Industrial Revolution that has helped put the United States at the most industrially advanced country in the world. But with all these major accomplishments of the Industrial Revolution, there have been several side effects that have negatively impacted our society. First, we'll look at the problems of the Industrial Revolution has caused in the environment in terms of pollution. Our journalist Nick Day has done a special report on the pollution issue and sat down to interview with one of our special pollution guests.
Welcome to this week's special on pollution. The Industrial Revolution has caused unfathomable damage to our environment. This is the first time in history that pollution is a major issue in our society. Never before have we produced so much waste and carbon dioxide. One type of pollution that's really hurting our environment is the pollution of our water. Today, we will be speaking to a resident that lives in Pittsburgh and experiences the terrible horror of these effects of the Industrial Revolution. Hello, sir. What's your name?
My name is Dan Culligan.
Okay, well, what's your experience done with this pollution that we're having?
Well, Nick, I live out here in Pittsburgh where all the steel mills are located. Out there, the air quality is so bad they are polluting all our water. My daughter has asthma, and it's a huge problem with all of the pollution in the air. The waste should not be put into the river. The children cannot play or do anything in the river. It's a terrible repercussion of the Industrial Revolution. This issue will affect generations to come. We need to find a way to clean this air.
Thank you very much. Okay, back to you, Kylie and Nate.
Thanks, Nick, for that amazing report. Now we're going to head off to our other journalist, Brennan Shaw, to see what he has figured out about slum.
Thanks, Kylie. There's a new crisis that is affecting our urban towns. Poverty is running rampant in the streets. Many urban residents are forced to live in poverty and labor under backbreaking conditions. They are forced to work in inhumane conditions for little to no pay. This terrible lifestyle has come to be known as the slum life. Many of the urban poor live in slum tenements. They are crammed together in shoddy apartments, buildings that house 4 or so families on each floor, meaning each family has very small or little living space. The reason that so many urban citizens live a life of poverty is because the towns they live in lack sufficient infrastructure, meaning there aren't enough roads, power plants, or sewage systems to support the massive population. City officials are much to blame for these problems. They don't provide citizens with enough resources to keep the city out of chaos. There are also major sanitation problems present in many American towns, because many of the houses lack running water and poor plumbing. It makes it difficult to dispose of waste properly and in a sanitary way. Fire is also a constant problem because at the turn of the century, many city roads and sidewalks are constructed of wood, making cities virtual fire traps. The citizens in the urban communities are at a constant risk of being injured or becoming infected with diseases. Now back to you.
Thanks, Brennan, for that fascinating report. Now let's go off to you in the field.
I'm here with slum woman Beth Birmingham. So, tell us, what are your personal experiences on the conditions in the slums?
Well, life is harder than it used to be. I live with 4 other families, and we are all compacted into one small room. We do not have great hygiene because we don't have running water, a working toilet, and during winter and summer, we are faced with extreme temperatures due to poor insulation. Our wages are very low, and we are barely surviving off of them. Many other families like us are subsistence living. We are constantly scrounging for food, and that does not help our health circumstances. The water that we do have is polluted by the factories. It is very hard to live in these circumstances, and something needs to be done very soon.
So, what are your ideas on improving the Slum life?
Well, excellent question. Well, considering the rough lifestyles that we have, a way to improve them is private living quarters for each individual family. Why are we each compacted into these small rooms? There are so many of us. We also need proper sewage systems, and of course, clean water would be helpful.
Thank you for tuning in to KNDBJ News. Hope you have a great night.